boys and girls, today we're doing another tier list. Now, you've seen the monkey tier list. You've seen the alphabet tier list. You've seen the funkin' tier list. But because I am a man who loves doing tier lists, who thinks it's easy content, fun content, great for everybody, we are doing a tier list, ranking S through F, which tiers are the best. Some of these might be controversial, but remember, these are my opinion, and my opinion is always right. So we're gonna get started with what goes into S tier. I'd say the two most important tiers on a tier list are S, starting off, because S tier is really listing truly what the best tier is, right? It is like, when you go to a tier list, the first thing you check out is like, okay, I'm checking what the S tier is. Like, what is this person's favorite of this blank, right? The next most important, however, it's F. Now, the reason I say it's F is because on a tier list, the two most important tiers are S and F. When I'm looking at someone, if I'm judging someone's tier list, the S tier is the first thing I go to. The next thing I go to is the F tier. These are the two most contentious points. Because if I put something into B tier, it's whatever. Now, going into A tier is C. C is a very reliable tier. Because if I don't have an opinion on something, I'll just throw it in C tier. Now, going into B tier, I'd put A tier. Because when I put something into A tier, I'm throwing it in there because it's not quite S, but I'm like, it could make the push. I'm like giving it props, right? It's A tier is great to give something props. Going into D tier, I'm gonna put B tier. B tier is very lazy. It's like, oh, I kind of like it. Oh no, I'm not gonna be a bitch. I'm gonna put something in, like putting something in B tier is very bitch made. D tier is the worst. D tier is F tier. Actually, no, B tier is F tier because it's right in the middle. It's like, why put something in B tier? You're literally just throwing it in someone's face at that point. D tier, I'd put in D tier. D tier, I think D tier goes into D tier pretty fairly. I challenge the rest of you to make a tier list so that I can do a tier list. By the way, on YouTube, only like 50% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. You should check that out. You should go subscribe. Hit see if you can subscribe. The button, bring me up. I want funny number to go up, please. Anyway, those of you watching this on YouTube, make a tier list and tweet at me at twitter.com/RougeJD so that I can do a tier list.